Hello and welcome. My heart is incredibly full as I look out and see so many people who have joined us to celebrate this huge accomplishment today. I'm inspired by and in awe of the individuals who have dedicated their time to this program. This program has given us a platform, a sense of sanctuary where we can regroup, develop, and create our own futures. Year Up has helped us decolonize ourselves and use our voice to better navigate in any work environment we are in. We've been given a chance to advocate for ourselves and others. Throughout this program, from start to finish, there's been a saying stuck in my head and feel as though it fits well with the theme of this past year. As the Mexican proverb goes, quisieron enterarnos, pero se les olvidó que somos semillas. They tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds. Year Up has shaped us as individuals no matter the growing pains we endured. It's empowering knowing we were given the resources and opportunities to grow on our own, to continue to fight against the current to make a name for ourselves as we deconstruct the norms placed on us by our systematically oppressive country when it comes to bridging the opportunity divide. We aren't here to remold ourselves to what society wants us to be. We are not here to kiss the oppressor's feet. We are here to create change. So I ask that you take a moment to look around and see those who have uplifted you and provided a safe space for you to be the best version of yourself. Thank them for providing a sense of stability to your growth and constantly challenging your ways of thinking. And thank yourselves for everything you have endured to get where you are today. My own journey has been a continuous fight of breaking stereotypes. The majority of us are living through that still, and I'm here to remind you that being here, pursuing your goals, is a radiant move in itself. Being here on this stage, ready to take the next step, is radical. And all that you have done is what your ancestors would have wished for. You are capable of leading a successful life, and I hope none of you lose that light of resilience in you. Be unapologetically you, speak your truth, and share your story with others. Our narratives are important and need to be heard. Our vulnerability is strength, and it is empowering. It leaves many intimidated and inspired, and I'd like to share part of my story with you today. My last moments with my mother, I was holding her hand against my cheek as I played her favorite song. Long ago, she told my siblings and I to play this song for her at her funeral to remember her by. I wanted her to feel at ease knowing we remembered that. I sat there with my siblings, watching her heartbeat lag. Time moved slowly, memories consumed me, channeling all the time she's held me, nurtured me, and loved me. I sat there, observing the color of my mom's lips change color. My heart began to race, and it felt like a cruel joke knowing her heart would stop, but mine continued. And as her song finished, her heart monitor reached the end. It was the most beautiful and haunting moment in my life, one I will never forget. After a minute of her being gone, I was the last to leave her room. I gently whispered in her ear my goals, one of which was going to school and making her proud. And suddenly, a single tear escaped her eye. I had to make the toughest decision of my life. I had a responsibility no child wants to bear. I had to give the doctors permission to take my mom off the air ventilator that kept her alive because she was brain dead. Veronica Elizabeth Rangel Ortiz died on December 21st, 2017. She was only 43 years old. When I was growing up, my mother and I had a complex relationship. We had our moments of toxicity, but through it all, she taught me my love for my culture, how to defy social structures, and how to stand up for myself. She was the toughest, most intense individual I have ever encountered. I wanted to mirror all her best qualities, and in a way I did. My mom taught me resilience, and it has shown through the dramatic moves in my life. I had moved to Seattle a week after leaving my first job with no plan set. I financially sustained myself for 6 years, and I'm still here making it work. I made it in Seattle because of her. I had all these expectations placed on me for being the firstborn and being first-generation Mexican. It was expected to pursue college after high school to complete the American dream every migrant family hopes for their children. My parents moved here from Mexico to provide a brighter future for me. I wanted to challenge my parents by showing them I could still be capable of living a good life and live in a city without a college degree, and I made that happen. I wanted to prove to them that you can go your own pace in life and go against society's expectations of you. I wanted to learn more about myself and what my limits were before pursuing school, and I don't regret the path I chose. Think about the people who have sacrificed for you to be where you are today, and the shoulders you have stood on to be able to do the work you will do. Now it's your turn to make sacrifices so that someday someone can stand on your shoulders and be able to live the life we all dream of without any barriers. Because of my mom, I was able to make the toughest decision of my life without flinching. Because of my mom, I am now a personal banker at Chase. Because of my mom, you see me standing here today, more determined than ever. You are capable of achieving what you set your mind to. No matter what life throws at you, you have the ability to rise from the ashes and prove to others how resilient you are. Because of my mom's passing, I could see the road ahead of me much clearer than before. With a broken heart, I began to reflect. I orbited towards Year Up due to the community-driven atmosphere it had advertised itself to be. I carried with me the loneliness of my mother's passing and the drive to keep going, to keep being my mother's driven, willful child. Without hesitation, I applied. I felt a fog rise. From the time I received the first phone call for an informational session to the first day of orientation, I remember feeling eager to be in a space where you can be who you are without being targeted for your identity. It provided a space for me to feel comfortable enough to suggest we start the first queer support group at the Bellevue site. Being able to have an open dialogue about the queer experience and identity amongst my peers and staff made me feel seen as a trans non-binary individual, and it allowed me to warm up to the Year Up community. While there was a lot of uplifting experiences, it was more challenging than I predicted. Despite having the strength and comfort of an accepting community, getting through this program is harder than I expected. I lost a job, I left an unfitting housing situation, all while working 74 hours a week. These struggles are not unique to this cohort. You all have juggled multiple jobs, commuted to and from school, while financially sustaining yourself and remaining present. Our challenges evolved when we were placed in our internships. We all blossomed under these professional settings with the help of the people like my colleagues at my internship at Chase. We grabbed hold of the opportunities presented to us, and I was given a chance to open dialogue with executives in Chase at a meeting about inclusive vocabulary when interacting with queer and trans customers. My mentor boosted my confidence and helped me prepare to go into these opportunities by supporting my rebellious attitude, reaffirming that what I have to say is equally important, and provided room to be emotionally vulnerable. I am thankful that Year Up placed Lydia and I together, because if we weren't, I wouldn't have lived to be a keynote speaker, and I wouldn't have thought that applying to Harvard would be out of reach. You all have a team of people rooting for you just like I do. I feel the strength from mi mamá, my mentor, my peers, and most importantly, mi papá. I'm proud that I grew up watching my dad work nearly 18 hours a day to provide a sustainable living for my family and I. Regardless of his schedule, he always made the effort to be present. What I had to do to complete this program is thanks to my hardworking dad. I honor mi papá for providing me the gift of storytelling and tough grit. He set the example. Luchamos por el futuro que queremos por nosotros. We fight for the future we want for ourselves. From my vulnerability, I grew. From the ashes, I rose. The resilience I displayed was from the years of oppressive challenges I faced alone. I am breaking generational cycles, and that is groundbreaking. I am not the person I was a year ago, and I'm glad of it. I've aged from the events that had happened in my timeline, and I wouldn't change it. Year Up has helped remove those barriers, and now it is up to us to keep going, to keep growing, and to unapologetically succeed. Remember where your strength stems. Quisieron enterarnos, pero se les olvidó que somos semillas. Thank you.